Hey guys, Chris with Nichols Retirement Empire. Today, I made a trip down to the trash convenience station, where I could drop off like old appliances and stuff like that. I had a couple of things I needed to drop off. I got out of the house, and I'm going to tell you, I was feeling pretty proud of myself. I thought I was being so smart. I really did. I thought I was just, because when you're younger, you just do things like when I was 20 or 30 years old, I would have grabbed one of them's a big ice maker that was under the counter, and the other one's a small refrigerator that was under the counter, but they're pretty heavy. And when I was younger, I would have just grabbed that thing, picked it up, walked out to the truck and put it in the back of my truck, and then walked and picked the other one up and threw it in the back of my truck and just drove down to the convenience station. But now, since I'm older and wiser, so you're supposed to be older and wiser, right? I took the three-wheeler cart and I pulled it out there on the wheels, okay? I got my trailer that has a ramp. See how smart? And I wheeled it up that ramp. I didn't injure myself. I didn't try to pick it up. Well, I did kind of test it just to see. Just to see exactly how heavy it was, and it felt heavy enough to where I needed to do that. And so I used a trailer, I used a three-wheeler. I went and looked on the computer to see if the convenience station was open, and it said it was. And I drove out there carefully, made sure everything was loaded on here right. Just being smart, smart. And I got out there, and of course it was closed, unlike what the computer said. So again, in my younger days, I might have grabbed that thing, or I don't know, I might have drove through the gate and threw it on the ground, or no telling. I might have picked it up and threw it over the gate, because I took the time to drive out there, and now they're closed. What the crap's going on? So, but I didn't. I just said, oh, look, it's closed. I'll just drive home and park this trailer, and I'm taking it tomorrow because they're open tomorrow. Sit on the side, and so I didn't get upset. I got a little wound up, but nothing like, and I started thinking, you know what? In the past, I would have just been I would have done this so differently, and I was just kind of patting myself on the back and thinking, but then I started thinking, you know what? I'm looking at this from like a man's point of view. When I was younger, and I would, see how older men did things, they would always think about it. They would always not be so quick to act and not get in a hurry, and I'd be like, no, let's just break it. Let's tear it apart. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. I just wanted to go and do. And they would always, let's slow down. And, I would always get so impatient with those guys. And I would just think, now I think, man, I'm just, I've spent all these years learning all these things. And, but I have not reached the level of smartness that, let's just say, women have. Or your wife has. Specifically your wife. I just haven't reached that level. You rarely see women get hurt because they tried to pick up an ice machine that weighs 500 pounds. You rarely see women get hurt because they jumped from their boat onto a slick dock and didn't have on the right kind of shoes, so they fell down. You rarely see women falling off of ladders. You rarely see women, getting hurt because they tried to, use a tool the wrong way. I mean, we men, no matter how smart we get, no matter how old we get, if you follow us around long enough, we're gonna do. We may do 5 smart things in a row, and you think, oh man, that was smart. Man, if I would have done that, or oh, that was a good idea. man, he really saved a lot of time and effort by doing that, or that was a really good way to do it. That was a safe thing to do. He may do that 5 times in a row, but somewhere down the line, he's going to do something and you're going to go, what were you? And I have no explanation for it. I don't know why we do it. I don't know. I mean, we just think, our brain thinks, well, I have an explanation, because we think we can do it. We do it because we think we can. And so we try. You know, that's why I'm on the phone with my friend the other day, and you know, it's like, man, my dad is 78 years old, and he wants to get on the ladder and climb up there and clean his gutters. And he was out there doing it, and I had to go, what are you doing? You're 78 years old. You don't need to be climbing the ladder. You know, my dad, I had a tree fell in his backyard over, it was about to fall on the fence and destroy the fence. And he was like, I need to get out there with a chainsaw and cut that tree. I'm like, you can't cut that tree. You're 78. You don't need to be anywhere near that tree. I don't even need to be near that tree. But he really thinks he can go out there with that chainsaw and cut that, and he probably can. But we still think, oh, I can do this. And then by God, we try it. And we shouldn't, you know. We realize after I should have done that. But I have no explanation for why it is. And I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. And I don't care if they're 110. If you follow them around long enough, they're going to try something. They're going to try it. And you're just, why? Why did you do that? And I used to not ever think, well, I mean, yeah, I have done stuff when I was younger that I was like, why did I do that? But I mean, I did it all the time. It was an everyday, you know, every other thing I did, it would be like, why did I do that? You know, what made me think I could, I'm crazy. What made me think I could say that and get by with it? And I didn't, you know. But it was just normal. When you get older, it gets less normal, but it still happens. And that's when you say, that's why women say, men. That's why they say, men, that say stuff like that, because we make them say things like that. The funniest one ever that happened to me is, and I would have done this a lot differently now, but back when I was younger, I was a coach, and I coached a girls' soccer team. They made me the girls' soccer coach at this school, and they'd never had a soccer team before. So anyway, this girl who had never played soccer, never played any sport, we had our first game, and it was at a school only a few miles from our school. And so she thought, well, I'll just get Mama to carry me over there, and I won't ride the team bus. And so she came over there. Her mama carried her over there just like she wanted. And when she got there, I told her she couldn't play because she didn't ride the bus. You're supposed to ride the bus. And so her mama shows up, comes out there on the field where I was before the game had started. You know, why can't my daughter play? I said, she didn't ride the bus. She said, so what if she didn't ride the bus? She's here. And I said, look, it's a school board policy, which I don't know if it was or not. I just made that up. It's a school board policy that you have to ride the bus to a ball game because I'm responsible for your daughter, you know. So she goes, oh, well, is it the school board policy that if they miss a practice, they have to sit out half of a game? And I said, no, that's my policy. And she was like, well, I think that's stupid. And I said, and I looked at her and I said, lady, I probably shouldn't use the word lady because that, anyway, I said, lady, you're going to have to get off this field. And so she turned around and she started off the field, and she got about halfway up the stands and she screamed, no wonder he's not married. No woman wanted to have him. Like, it's loud. Everybody could hear it. And what was so funny is the coach on the other team was a friend of mine, and he heard it. And he just started dying laughing. And I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, man, they make me so mad. So anyway, thanks for watching Nichols Retirement Empire. I'm going to try not to make you mad in my older age. I'll do the best I can. Just trying to be honest. Thanks for watching.